I did predict in my 2011 forecast that California definitely would get a significant quake. I pinpointed it to some regions that are known to have major quakes offshore Northern California. They did have a 7.2 back in 2005 in mid-June, which caused a ping pong effect where there was actually strong quakes in Southern California during the same time within a 3-day time period. So I did say offshore Northern California, San Francisco Bay Area, even the Tahoe region and Southern California, San Fernando Valley, San Bernardino. As all, I said a significant quake could happen in one or more of these regions in 2011. I did not pinpoint it to a month or a day. But that was for an article I wrote for my Earth Changes column in January. Since then, I did start to think that maybe March and April, because they're known to be shaky months, the Great Quake in Alaska, West Coast, March 27th, 1964, a strong quake in Morgan Hill, south of the Bay Area, in 1984, which I was in, and that was in April 24th, 1984. And just kind of look in the 1906 Great Quake in April, 1906, April 18th, I started thinking maybe March and April are months that we are going to have a significant quake. So I hold on to that prediction, which isn't too different than Jim Berkland. However, Jim Berkland, he was on a major news channel the other day, and I do feel that the interviewer kind of put him in a corner. So, Jim, is this quake going to happen on the day of the supermoon, the full moon, which comes on Saturday? And I do believe, and now I just got a Google message saying that Jim Berkland says that on the 19th, a quake's going to hit California. And so I've been getting emails from people, Callie, is the California quake coming Saturday? So people are starting to get into panic mode, thinking this geologist who has a good track record of predicting quakes, he did predict the World Series quake, 7.1, 1989, October 17th. People are starting to get scared. So when I woke up this morning, it hit me. No, we are not getting a great quake or a major quake this coming Saturday. I just don't believe it's going to play out that way. Sure, we could get 3s and 4s, and I said that on my site this morning. We could get 3s and 4s on Saturday. We already have been. Yesterday we had 3s in the Pinnacles south of the Bay Area and 3s in the Geysers north of the Bay Area. And sometimes when this happens, I believe a stronger quake will hit the Bay Area. Seems like a pattern that I've picked up. But again, to say a 7.0 to hit this, in a 24-hour period on Saturday, I don't believe it'll happen. However, in defense of Jim Berkland, his window is 8 days. So he does believe, because the tides are going to be very high because of the moon, other factors, that, yes, that the California quake, a noteworthy California quake, will happen in this period. And again, I kind of blame that anchor that sort of narrowed him into a corner. Is it going to happen on 19th? Let's cut to the chase. What day is it going to happen? It's possible, but I did dish out an anti-prediction, and I do have 100% accuracy rate for my anti-predictions for these, people that make these quake predictions. And I said that no noteworthy quake in California will happen this Saturday. That's just how I feel.
You pick up anything else? For example, we have news today that some radiation has come into Riverside County, to San Bernardino County, and some parts of those areas.
And Sacramento.
Sacramento?
Yes, 100 miles away from me. Not fun. Yes, and it bothers me because, as we all know, people that have been following it in Japan, the radiation levels are also increasing. And of course, as a journalist, I know, and a lot of other people know, that the government hides things, such as the Japan government, but our government, they aren't angels either. For instance, examples, in the Man Who Predicts Earthquakes book, I discovered through Jim Berkland and other experts I interviewed that the death count of the Great Quake in San Francisco was played down. For years and years, they said only 500 people died. Then they said 3,000 people died. Well, it turns out that finally they said 3,000. Well, now it's 5,000 plus. We'll never know. Some of the images after the Great Quake, the photos were doctored so people wouldn't have to pay insurance, fire insurance, because there was the quake and the Great Fire. Moving fast forward, as a journalist for Woman's World years back, I did an article on Agent Orange and how it affected the women that served in Vietnam. The government wouldn't take credit. These women that I interviewed, nurses, what have you, would tell me about their illnesses, and they believed that it was linked to the Agent Orange that they were exposed to, but the government said there was no hard-hitting proof that that's the case. Yesterday, I talked to a woman and her husband who served in Vietnam. He just passed 2 years ago from Agent Orange. He ended up having a blood type of cancer. It's just, today they say that the radiation levels are very, very, very small. So, okay, I can go with that, but who's to say it's not going to increase? I mean, they do not have control of these reactors. And on my site, I even predicted when this started with the nuclear plant in Japan that I knew that it was just going to go downhill. Some people know me as a gloom and doom girl, but I'm a realist, and they don't have it contained, and it doesn't look good. There's so much controversy out there, but they don't want to cause more panic and more chaos, but it doesn't look good, and I do believe there's probably going to be a meltdown, and then that's just going to mean more radiation. So if it's already hit the West Coast now, I don't even want to go there.
I know. It's funny. I can totally see both governments' positions, but here's where I have an issue. By playing it down and trying to control everybody and control our reactions, what they need to do is to give us dominion to do what we're called to do with the truth. A lot of people may just decide to pick up and leave. A lot of people would have ordered the proper iodine tablets to begin one part of the remedy.
Well, that's what they're doing, and I disagree with that. Now, I'm known as Nature Girl in the Healing Power series. It's all natural stuff, and I'm very sensitive, so I'm not about to go out and buy those pills because there are reactions to them. They can make you really sick, really, throw up, vomiting. They could even make you have hypothyroidism. I had a cat that lived to 18 that had that. It's a metabolic disorder when he was 16 to 18, and you have to take pills for the rest of your life to counteract your metabolism, and who wants to go there? And that is one side effect of the pill. Of course, when all this happened, I looked up the side effects of the pill because I thought about, okay.
You're talking about Iostat 131 or 134?
Yeah.
Right.
And I thought about taking it. I talked to Berkland about, are you going to take the pills? No. And he said he would hit the salt, because it does have iodine on it. I talked to another visionary friend of mine who has a wonderful track record of accuracy. She said she may hit the seaweed because people eat seaweed, and that's more natural. Right now, I would not take the pills. I do not believe in taking the pills. I know that they're selling out.
They're gone. I mean, the government has banned them already. We can't even get them if we tried.
Right. But I write about this stuff all the time, and when the swine flu hit, I was writing about it and getting scared, and it did spread, and I knew it would come here, and it did. But it was a pandemic 6, as I predicted it would go to. But the thing is, sure, there were people that died. There were people that definitely got it, but I did not, and I did take precautions, washing my hands, staying clear of people, and living in a tourist town. You can imagine the writer, I have a great imagination. I'm a hypochondriac, even though I'm super healthy. I just, stayed clear of people. However, with radiation, it's a little bit different. You can't see it. You can't really trust the government, but you could buy one of those little kits and, walk around and see how high the radiation's getting. I don't know. It just, being a baby boomer, I've been around for, we're moving up to almost 60 years, and seeing the movie back in the 70s, Silkwood, I kept making literary references to that movie, and lo and behold, I see MSNBC and CNN doing the same thing, because, if you watch the movie, I'm sure you can rent it. It overlaps sort of what's happening right now. You know, it just, I don't know. It's a scary world out there right now. It really, really is.